Good morning. It is Sunday. It means meal prep day here at this place. So we're going to start getting things set up. Starting with, we got rice. We're going to do chicken, broccoli, and bacon in the air fryer, which is over here. Over here. Right now I am working on cold brew. For those of you that don't know, this is where coffee comes from if you don't go through a drive-through. So I make 2 pots. That gives me about a gallon worth of cold brew. And that will get cooled down to room temperature and then put into the fridge. And then in the afternoons, I'll have a cup of that with some protein powder. Usually it'll be the Dunkin' protein powder, 1 scoop. So the broccoli goes in the oven. 450, 25 minutes. Chicken goes on the Traeger, 450, 8 minutes, flip, 8 minutes. Rice goes in the rice cooker with, chicken stock. So the extra protein in the rice, a little bit of flavor as well. And then the air fryer gets the bacon for roughly 8 to 10 minutes, depending upon how long I've been cooking stuff. Just got to pay attention to it. So get everything set up, get everything going. We'll get after it. So for broccoli, we parchment paper on the pan, super easy. Preheat the oven 450. It's preheating now. I use avocado spray, avocado oil. Just give it a little bit of something to have my actual seasoning, which is Dan-O's. That will have something to grab onto because the broccoli is still frozen. And then I do a liberal dusting. And these are big broccoli florets, so that's why I do 25 minutes in the oven. So they have time to defrost, bake, and absorb some of that seasoning. And then I'll cut up everything into smaller sizes to portion it out, because each meal will get about a half a cup when it's all said and done. So that's the broccoli. Super easy. Once I throw it in the oven, set the timer 25 minutes, it's fire and forget. I don't have to worry about anything and just let her wobble. The rice is easy and even easier. You just take 2 cups of rice. I am using low sodium chicken broth. It has 2 grams of protein per serving, which is 1 cup, and I'm putting 2 cups in here. So instead of the water, I'm using the chicken broth. And everybody, oh, you didn't wash your rice. No, I didn't. I like the minerals left intact, i.e. dirt. It's good for the immune system. And then I will take, just for a little bit of added seasoning, the chicken bouillon. And it's got 0 calories for a 3/4 tablespoon. And I don't even use that much. I just do a dusting. Take a little whisk. Mixy, mixy. Make sure there's no clumps from the bouillon. Super simple. Right into the rice cooker. Turn it on. Throw that in the sink. Hit the white rice button. Let her wobble. Again, hands free. When it beeps, it's done. Okay, everybody's favorite bacon. I do 4 slices at a time because I find that if I try to do any more, it will get really funky in there. So in we go. There's a pretty fancy air fryer, so got match cook, so both sides get done. Odin is not a fan of the air fryer, so he's probably going to go outside and sit and bask in the sun. I go for the first batch, I go for 11 minutes because it lets the air fryer warm up and all that jazz. And then hit start, off she goes. I do save all the bacon fat. So for cooking, bacon fat is the cleanest coming out of the air fryer. No chunks, no mess, no nothing. It's just white bacon fat. And then paper towels, goes on a paper towel, get the rest of the oil, grease, fun stuff off of there. And that's it. I make my own bacon crumble out of that. So that'll be done in 11 minutes. The last half gallon of coffee's done, so we'll pour that in here, clean that all up, and let this sit, get down to room temperature before it goes into the fridge. And then we have basically a gallon of cold brew ready to rock and roll for the whole week. So for the chicken, it is super easy. Traeger, or any grill for that matter, you can just straight barbecue it if you want, not a problem. That's all I'm doing, is I'm just grilling chicken. So I've got 4 filleted breasts in here. It is marinated with a McCormick marinade, and then I put mesquite, smokehouse mesquite dusting, basically as like a breading, but it's not a breading, just a little more kick, a little crunch. But I do 4 fillets, and I will cook them for 8 minutes on each side at 400-ish, and then let them rest, of course. And this is, again, fire and forget. 8 minutes, I'll flip them. And then they're done and ready to be portioned out for the meals. That's all that takes. Now just watch it. Flip it when I need to. 36 minutes. That's how long it took between the air fryer, the Traeger, the rice cooker, and the oven. Broccoli's done. Chicken's done. Bacon's done. Rice is done. Hell, even the cold brew is cooling off. So 36 minutes to make 7 meals worth of food. You know, I hear people all the time, oh, I wish I could do what you're doing. I wish I could meal prep like that. 36 minutes. I know people that spend 36 minutes on the toilet, doom scrolling. Now I'm going to let this cool off for about 20 minutes before, let it get down to room temperature, and then I'm going to start portioning it out. And then lunch is done for 7 days. I just ate my last meal that I made last week, and it was perfectly fine. Minute 30 in the microwave, done deal. And then once lunch is done, we'll let everything cool off, clean everything up, get ready to go for breakfast. And as a special treat, I'm doing my desserts too. So stay tuned for that. Let's start portioning this stuff out. So it's been resting for about 20 minutes, so it's nice and cool. We're gonna do a half a cup of all the ingredients. So half a cup of rice. Just because I'm extra, we're gonna use the round shape. Put it in the corner. Now, I'm one of those people that's weird and can't have their food touching. But in this case, a little fluff there, doesn't really matter. I like to have the broccoli under the chicken, so when you go to reheat it in the microwave, the broccoli steam actually goes through the chicken and it creates a little bit of moisture. So, because it's chicken breast, I don't know how many people have done meal preps before and had the issue where your chicken breast goes dry. That is what helps alleviate it for me, is by putting it on top of the broccoli. So I said half a cup goes in each. And this was 2 cups of rice when I made it. So it comes out to about 8 portions of half a cup. So I got a little bit left over. And what I do, with the leftover is I will just scoop it towards the bottom and then put 1 little dollop in each section, which is a little bit less than a tablespoon's worth. And then that should kill all of the rice. Oh, looks like the last one doesn't get anything extra. Aww. Okay, and into the sink that goes. And we are going to reuse Mr. Half Cupper here to measure. Well, actually, we don't need that anymore because we're going to just eyeball the broccoli. Put Mr. Rice Cooker away. Like I said earlier, I am a clean as you go type person, so it drives me nuts when things are left out that don't need to be. So I got the cutting board already set up. Nice clean knife. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab these big heads of broccoli here. We're just going to give them a little bit of a trim, just to size them down a little bit. The smaller ones get cut in half, the bigger ones get cut 3 ways, and if they've got a big stem still, I'll cut those off. And Odin will get the cutoffs because he loves broccoli. And because I use low sodium seasoning, I am not worried about him having it. Some of the pieces don't need to be trimmed, so they just get tossed right in there. But I'm doing about a portion of each. So according to the packaging, 1 serving is about 3 florets, 3 large florets. And I do prefer the florets other than the cuts, because I've never really been a big fan of broccoli stems, which is weird because they taste the exact same as a broccoli floret. I'm just weird with textures. And that's just a thing I get hung up on. That's me. Everybody has their thing. Okay. And like I said, I'm just going to go through, trim these down to bite size basically, because I don't want them to be too small, because I do like broccoli, otherwise I wouldn't be eating it. You know, and this is super simple. This doesn't take a whole lot of time. I've been doing this now for the same meal now for about 8 months. I don't need to cut that guy. You know, not a lot of people can eat the same meal over and over for 8 months, and I get that. It's not something everybody can do. I tried doing meal prep for my wife. She didn't even make it through the whole week because it was the same meal every day. She couldn't do it. She's one of those that has to have variety. I'm not cooking 7 different meals. Just, you know, put them in the fridge. That's just kind of silly in my opinion. So she gets her little luncheon meats and does her lunches that way when she's at work. And Odin is laying on the floor over there because he knows what's up. He knows when I meal prep, he gets one hell of a lunch. He's so excited. He's already got the piece of bacon I dropped on the floor. Sacrilege, I know. So, I mean, this is pretty cut and dry. Save you from having to watch all of me cutting up broccoli and portioning it out, so. All right, as you can see, you got a nice bed of broccoli, got a nice ball of rice. Now it's time for the chimkin. So these were full breasts, they were filleted, and now each one of the meals will get a half of that fillet of chicken. So, and of course, depending upon the size, get it cut in half here. Some of the breasts, even when they're filleted, are chunker munkers. And I like to cut it up into nice bite-sized bits. So it's kind of like having a broccoli and chicken salad. And I just top it right on top of the broccoli just like that. So like I said, when I microwave it, the steam from the broccoli actually moistens the chicken, or helps moisten the chicken. So I don't have that meal prep dry chicken fiasco. Oop. Almost lost a piece. Odin would have been excited about that. Okay, so again, to save you from having to watch me cut chicken and portion it out, we'll pause here. Chicken's portioned, now it's time for the bacon. And like I said, I do 1.5 pieces of bacon, which is 3 pieces because I cut them in half when I cook them. and we're just gonna cut them up into bacon bits ish, if I can just keep them on the cutting board, because if I drop one of these again, I'm gonna lose my marbles. Odin won't be mad. He enjoys the fact that I drop stuff sometimes. Okay, so real easy. Chop it up into little biscuit bits, and I put it in the corner here next to the rice. That way, again, when I microwave it, the fat that's left will go into the rice and mix and add even more flavor. So now I've got chicken flavored bacon rice. Bacon flavored chicken rice? Sure. And again, just cutting it up, portioning it up, putting it in each little meal. And because this has already been cooled at room temperature, once I'm all done, I can put it right into the fridge, clean up everything, and get ready to do breakfast. And again, this is taking no time at all. In the middle of, doing everything, waiting for things to cool, timers to go off and whatnot, I'm goofing off on the computer, playing video games, watching the YouTube's videos, because all the people I like to watch post usually on Sundays, and John Malecki, gotta watch Lean Beef Patty, gotta watch Sheepishly Me, gotta watch all of my Beard Meats Food, your typical Sunday programming, because I save all my cartoons for background noise while I'm at work. Put my earbuds in between phone calls, and I've got cartoons playing. All right, save you that. We'll come back when we're all done. And there we go. 7 bacon, rice, chicken, broccoli meals. 7. Done. Under 600 calories for each one of these. Grab and go. I mean, seriously, how much more simple can it be? It has taken me a total of a whole hour with cooling time and portioning time to put this 7 together. So now I don't have to worry about lunch for the rest of the week. That's the best part of meal prep. So now we'll get the lids on, get them in the fridge, get everything cleaned up, put away, and in about 10 minutes, I'll be ready to start breakfast. So let's do the do. As promised, it's time for breakfast. So we're doing breakfast burritos. We've got eggs, sausage, cheese, hot sauce, tortillas. That's it. Those are the ingredients. 6 eggs into the bowl, mixy. I do egg whites. I fill it up to about 1/4 inch at the top. Mixy, a little bit of pepper, done, seasoned, eggs are ready to go. Breakfast sausage, browned in the pan, chopped up kind of fine, so they're little nuggers. And then those go in here to drain, get cleaned up, and then we'll put it all together. 1/4 cup of egg, 1/4 cup of sausage, about, I would say, 1 tablespoon of cheese on top, and then some hot sauce, roll it up, and I'll put it back in the pan just to brown it all up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the sausage and get that browned up and going. 6 eggs, about 1 cup of egg whites, and this is what we get. Easy peasy. Ready to rock and roll. All right, breakfast sausage is basically just ground pork breakfast sausage. Get it all nice and cooked up, browned up. Try to keep it into small chunkers. This is 1 pound. This will make 10 burritos along with the 6 eggs and cup of egg whites. That will make those 10 burritos. Actually, it makes 11, or well, 10 and 1/4. So, all right, we'll let that brown up. Sausage is browned, ready to go. I'm transfer it over here to my little paper plate and paper towel combo. Let the rest of the grease and oil kind of get absorbed by the paper towel. Then we're going to give a quick wipe down on the pan. Okay, we don't need that guy anymore. Grab Mr. Paper Towel here. I don't want to get rid of all of this because it'll be great for the eggs, but I want to do a majority wipey wipe. Pan back on stovetop, eggs right in. I'm basically making a giant omelet here. And then I'll last minute cut it up into chunkers, into the sink. And oh, we need to top Mr. Sausage here. Give it a quick squeezy squeeze, pat pat. Try to get as much as the grease and oil into the paper towel. Okay, we'll let that cook, and yeah. And there we go. Just making a big omelet, like I said. Once this starts to get a little firm, I'll flip one half, drain the liquid into the other side, let that cook, and then we'll flip, and we'll make it flip and flip, and yeah, you'll see. It'll go in this guy when it's all done. And then we'll start making burritos. Let's assemble some of these here burritos and get them on the stove to brown up the sides. So we start with 1/4 cup breakfast sausage. Then we take 1/4 cup of egg. And everything is still nice and warm because I want it to kind of melt the cheese, because it's kind of like a binding agent. And like I said, just a tablespoon, not a whole lot of cheese is needed. And then we're going to do a line of hot sauce. For a nice little kick of heat and flavor. We're going to do a tuck and a roll. A little more tucking, a little more folding. All right, and that's one. And we'll put, the pan is on medium to low heat. One burrito on the pan. And I can fit 6 on this pan and cook those, or brown them up, I should say. So we'll do another one real quick. Again, quarter cup breakfast sausage, 1/4 cup egg, hot, 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 about a tablespoon of cheese, and this is just 3 cheese Mexican blend, generic from local. Nothing crazy, not doing sharp cheddar, low fat, anything, just 3 cheese blend. Tuck, tuck, fold, roly poly, roly, and there's number 2. And we'll just keep going like that until they're all browned up on the tray and cooling. So I'll bring you back when that happens. As you can see, I'm not re-cooking them. I am just warming the tortillas up and putting a nice crust on the outside. And that's 10. Yep, easy peasy. Just making 10 burritos. You get 2 each day, each morning. Turn Mr. Oven off. We'll move these over here to cool. And then I will take 2 burritos, wrap them up in paper towels, put them in the Tupperware and into the fridge once they're cooled off. And the paper towel just keeps them from getting that dry tortilla, I've been stored for too long thing going on. So take that pan off the heat, let it cool off, do my normal cleanup after doing this, and then after I get everything put into the Tupperware into the fridge, we got one more meal to do, and that's dessert for sweet treats, because I know everybody has a sweet tooth. I am just as guilty. So I have one of those Ninja Creamies, so I make ice cream, but I make protein ice cream, and I'll show you how easy and stupid foolproof these are. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this sorted, get this done, taken care of, and we'll get that going next. Dessert time. Super easy. I'm sure you've seen these before. The Core Power from Fairlife, 26 grams of protein. I got 3 flavors. We got vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry, because it's vegan. We're gonna make peanut butter chocolate with PB2. We're gonna make straight strawberry, and then we're gonna make an orange sherbet with this. I'm gonna show you how easy that is. So we're starting with the chocolate. I'm gonna put half of it in here, like so. I'm going to take 10 milligrams or 2 scoops of PB2, or yeah, PB2. Couldn't remember if I got the original or the other one. Of course, my wife's laughing at me because I'm in my influencer era. That's it. 2 scoops PB2. My little buzz wand here on low. Give it a little mix. And then, I shouldn't have put the lid back on. Pour the rest in. And when the bubbles go down, it'll be below the full line. So that's the other thing, is don't put it right in the freezer right away. Let the bubbles aerate out of it. Then clean that off. So that's one, done. Chocolate peanut butter. That easy. Strawberry. Doesn't look very strawberry-y, does it? It's white. We're gonna fix that. Food coloring for the win. Little mix. Look at that. It's strawberry. That's another one. Done. Okay. Now this is the hard one. Vanilla. Of course, that's going to come out white as well, but we're going to put half in. And then we've got orange extract. And it doesn't take a lot, trust me. Put about 8 drops in. That's it. And then we're going to give it a little mix. Then we're going to put the rest in. Give it a mix. All right. Now again, that doesn't look very orange, so we're going to change that. And mix. Done. Now we've got 3 pints of ice cream. Chocolate peanut butter, strawberry, orange sherbet. That's how quickly that's done. And now, once all the bubbles are out and it's done aerating, I'll put those in the freezer overnight. And tomorrow, they will be ready to eat. I'll put them in Monsieur Ninja Creamy, and I'll run it once on the sorbet, and then I will bore out a hole in the middle, and then I'll put maybe about a 1/4 cup of almond milk in the middle of that, and then run it on the ice cream setting one more time, and it's perfect. And those are, before anybody gets up in arms, 170 calories per container. Okay, 26 grams of protein, 5 grams of sugar, and those are sugar alcohol. You know, I mean, no brainer in comparison to a regular 1,160 calories per pint, 31 grams of sugar, and only 10 grams of protein. Not bashing the Haagen-Dazs because they taste freaking fantastic, but this will get that sweet tooth out of the way. So there you go. There are 3 meals for meal prep: breakfast, lunch, and a sweet treat for dinner to get that sweet tooth under control. I will take a protein bar also for the middle of the day, you know, just that last part of the day to have some kind of snack. And that's about it. And water, 2 cups of coffee, water, and a hydration pack from Gorilla Mind, one of these guys. You know, the Rocket Pop flavor is my favorite. But that's a normal day of eating. Dinner is whatever, you know, is here. And I have to, my biggest thing is portion control when it comes to dinner, because my wife knows how to cook, and she knows how to cook really damn well. It's probably why I'm so fat. But that's it. So let the bubbles come out of those, we'll put them in the freezer, and we'll be done. Easy day.